everyone. This is Ron Kaplan, Compliance Officer for Nice Lots and Plumbing, and I want to welcome you to the website Compliance Guideline webinar. I just want to point out that if you have any questions for me, please use the question and answer field to submit your questions. And again, the title of today's webinar is Website Compliance Guidelines and how a compliant website will help you sell and publicize your business. And let me just briefly go over the agenda for today's meeting. We're going to discuss the strategy for compliance, key compliance regulations, common compliance mistakes, how you should explain Medicare to your visitors, website visitors, business reply card compliance, that's electronic business reply card on your website, ancillary programs for Medicare beneficiaries that you can publicize on your website, takeaway, and then questions at the end. Okay, let's start out with a strategy for compliance, for website compliance. As you know, the internet is becoming an indispensable tool nowadays for all businesses. For a lot of people, including myself, it's the go-to resource when you want to find information. 20, 30, 40 years ago, people would go to the yellow pages, white pages. They would get information word of mouth. Nowadays, people often, first way they get information is to get it on their phone or their desktop. So very shortly, a website is going to be an indispensable tool for insurance agencies. And the website is a great tool for clarifying the choices that your customers are going to face. And it's a great tool for reaching out to them. And doing it compliantly is going to help you do this. And if you do it in an attractive and pleasant and welcoming way, that's going to win points for you. You're going to attract and retain clients. Let's discuss additional strategy points. You want to concisely explain the elements of Medicare. I know that's hard to do. It's hard to explain A, B, C, and D concisely, but as long as you discuss the main points, which I'll be briefing you about a little later in the webinar, you're good to go. And you also want to include electronic business reply card. So this is the main way that you're going to get leads, and it has to be done in a compliant way. It will help you get leads for MAPD, PDP, and MedSup plans. And you want to stand out from your competitors. You don't have to be, the design doesn't have to be avant-garde, but it should be done in a way that, people respect and remember your site. Okay, let's discuss some of the key website compliance regulations that you're going to need to follow if you're going to design a website, or have someone design it for you. Any question, you're forbidden from asking questions about customers' income, their resources, their health status, credit card information. Questions about income and resources are particularly inappropriate because the government regards those type of questions as trying to steer business to people with high income, good health, and that you're prohibited from doing. It's also an opportunity for you to acquire leads, but not referrals. And again, I'll be discussing the way you compliantly attract leads later on in the webinar. You cannot charge for consultations and cannot charge to provide information. As a matter of fact, that's almost a selling point for you on the website that you're providing free information to encourage people to contact you. And you want to not confuse MedSups with MAPDs. You want to accurately describe both and the key differences of each, and I'll be getting into that. And lastly, you must receive approval from the carriers if you want to use their logo. You also have to file your website with the carriers. And if you include marketing or carrier-specific information, plan-specific information, you do have to file your website with the carrier, and then the carrier will get approval from CMS. Okay, let's talk about some common pitfalls about on website compliance mistakes that agencies are making. CMS has sent out a memo to the carriers pointing out some common mistakes And what they observed is that some sites are asking for customers' health status, which is, again, forbidden. They're not accurately describing the difference between Medicare Advantage and Med-Sup plans. They're not including the disclosure at the end of the business reply card. They're not designing them accurately as well. And they're using superlatives to describe plans, using words such as best, number one, superior. You don't want to, you can, of course, accurately describe a plan, relay one of your customers' experiences with it, but you cannot use superlative adjectives like the ones I've included here. And now let's discuss how you go about explaining Medicare, which is no easy task. You know better than I do that your clients are going to face a slew of choices when they turn 65. They don't understand Medicare. They don't know what the time frames are for selecting a plan. They don't know their options. So you have the opportunity to win the hearts and minds of new clients by explaining Medicare basics. And it's a good opportunity to present their various options, from original Medicare to Med-Sups to MAPE. Okay, some of the key things that you want to include in explaining Medicare are MAPE plans, of course. So you want to emphasize that an MAPE plan covers everything the original Medicare covers and some. It includes added benefits such as vision, dental, and hearing. In order to qualify for a plan, you have to have Medicare's Part A and B, and there's limited enrollment periods. Initial enrollment period and the AEP mainly, of course, there's the SEP as well if they qualify. Now, with Medigap plans, they're higher upfront costs, premiums are higher, but there's less cost sharing than MAPDs. They're accepted by most providers, and you have standardized plans A through N. Of course, the premium's different. Different based on the carrier. Now, with Part D plans, again, they differ by premiums, copays, and deductibles. Someone can qualifies for Medicare is permitted to purchase a standalone plan, or they can bundle it in their MAPD plan. The plans includes the coverage gap, or it's colloquially known as the donut hole, and the late enrollment penalty. So you want to emphasize those 4 points about the Part D plan. And now let's describe the key section of your website, your outreach to clients, and the way you acquire leads electronically. So you can ask for the customer's name, their telephone number, their date of birth, and email address. And you want to maximize this opportunity to acquire leads as long as you follow a few basic compliance guidelines. I can't emphasize this enough. Don't ask for health or financial information. Don't request private information, such as Social Security number or HIC number. And you also want to include a disclosure that an agent will respond by phone or email if the customer completes the business reply card. Okay, let's look at an example of a compliant business reply card. So it includes the basics, name, phone, email. It also has this feature where you're able to, the customer is able to select what plan they're interested in. And then it has a couple of disclosures. Actually, you can combine the two, but it doesn't hurt to have both. This one has a disclosure for for Medicare, non-Medicare plans, and then it has a disclosure just for Medicare plans. This disclosure, again, includes language that is unnecessary, but it can't hurt to have it. There's language there that indicates that the agent will get back to them to talk to them about a Med-Sup, Med-Advantage, PDP plan. You're actually not required to put that in, but it can't hurt. Okay, this is a non-compliant business reply card. This one it's incomplete. It does not include the disclosure at the end, and it would also help if the customer was able to select what type of plan they're interested in. So this one you don't want to follow the lead of this one. Okay, now let's discuss what else you could put on your website. You can talk about ancillary benefits, or include information about the ancillary benefits that Medicare beneficiaries are eligible for. And this is going to demonstrate your value to the community. It's going to help you to recruit new clients, new business. So you can include website links for Medicare resource material, such as Medicare's own, CMS's own Opus, Medicare Made Clear. You can put a link for other sites as well, generic educational resources on Medicare. You can also explain assistance programs for your customers. Fundamentally, which you mainly explain the Part D extra help. You can find up-to-date income thresholds for that. You can include that on your website, and you can also include links for applying for Medicaid. And your assistance for those who qualify for extra help, or also known as LIS, and Medicaid, that could pay off in new business. Okay, let's discuss how you can humanize your agency on your website so that you're more likely to win customers and enhance your reputation. While it's not a compliance requirement, a brief history about your agency and an introduction to your staff is going to enhance your credibility. And don't be shy about touting your experience. You can do this in several ways, but one way that I've seen that I think is valuable is you can include testimonials from satisfied customers. That's done on the internet and other sites. You can employ that tool as well. And if you do volunteer work, that's feather in your cap. But as I read here, you can build trust and respect by emphasizing your volunteer work, your civic engagement, and roots in the community. If you've been doing this, you've been in this business for a long time, and the community knows you, that's certainly going to help you in attracting business. And certainly going to help you, if you can demonstrate that on your website, certainly going to help you attract new leads to increase your business. Okay, now let's discuss main points of this webinar. Very shortly, a website is going to be an essential marketing tool. As I pointed out in the beginning, it's often the first reference resource that people employ to find information. It's supplanted the white pages, the yellow pages, the telephone. It's just almost becoming an indispensable resource in today's world. And if you do this right and you do it in a compliant fashion, you're gonna gain leads. You're gonna build your business. And lastly, you have a variety of ways of marketing yourselves, your agency, that is. And a website is actually an inexpensive way to do this. There are ways you can jazz up your website. That's going to cost more. If you put, include features such as videos, a video player, such as graphics, things of that nature, it's going to cost more. But you can do a boilerplate website for about $200 a year. And given that you'll have a presence on the web 24/7, that's a bargain, given your potential to publicize your agency. So that concludes the webinar, and at this time I'd like to entertain any questions you might have. Please use the question and answer feature of this webinar, and I'm glad to field any questions you might have. No question? Okay, if there are no questions, I just want to point out that if you do think of one, feel free to get back to me at 1-800-562-7733, extension 121. This webinar is going to be posted on our website under the Agent Resource section. If you can't find it there, I'd be glad to email it to you. And I also want to point out that this webinar is part of a series of webinars that I'm doing to emphasize the compliance positives thing, instead of constantly telling you what you can't do, the approach that I'm taking is pointing out all the things you can do, to meet compliance regulations. This is an approach that is not going to, it's less likely to turn you off. If you have the wherewithal, you have the wherewithal to act, and don't constantly feel that you're being restricted by regulations. So with that, I want to thank you for attending. Forgot to mention that the next webinar in this series, the series entitled Positively Compliant, will be on website compliance, or how to properly complete a scope of appointment form. We get a lot of questions about those. They're irksome, to say the least. But I'll try to make the regulations clear for you well before the beginning of the annual enrollment period, so that you're well prepared for that, and prepared for filling these out during the lock-in period. So with that, I'm going to conclude the webinar, and I appreciate your attendance. Good day.